Many have tried.
Ooh, Andy's mints! Sorry, that was not meant to be a plug.
Fluffy ones.
God damn it, Ron.
You can cut it out.
That fucking fluffy one's gonna be death to me. No, I'm gonna leave that in just so like fans can speculate.
Dude, I tease.
Click and subscribe.
But the fluffy onesie plays. It plays. Alright?
No, it worked. I scared the crap out of all the little kids in the audience.
It wasn't that bad. Exactly. It
We
worked.
swear way too much on this show for little kids to watch.
No, this is way back when, Sarah. This was years ago. It's fucking like that's a long story.
Was it really years ago?
It was like almost like 3 or 4 years ago, man.
Man, it's been that long.
I know.
Crazy. I'm getting old.
Same here, man.
And that was your pre-show entertainment.
Right? There's 4 of us together for this review. We're gonna rant a lot. I think that's just gonna happen.
Reviewers assemble.
No, reviewers. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Got credits.
Yeah. You don't get to hear it say it.
In case you haven't figured it out already, we are here to talk about Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Well, they saw the title card. They know. It's like dude, this is not Age of Adeline. What the fuck?
We're disenfranchising our blind audience.
We should have put Thor's hammer right here on this table. That'd be appropriate.
Probably be classic. And he's like, oh, you gotta try harder, Ron. Damn it. Okay, so I know like 3 out of 4 of us are pretty much on the same page on this. I think Ron, you're kind of the one that
You know me. I'm the oddball though. I'm always the odd one out.
Well,
Okay, so let's just get general thoughts out of the way. I recognize this movie is very flawed. I think it's really like this is the only case where I watched some reviews before I recorded this. I do agree the fact that a lot of the flaws are in the first movie too. The problem is we're just much more aware of it this time because this is the second time you've seen it.
Yeah, because I watched Avengers the second time. I was like, I'm having fun, but this isn't quite as amazeballs as I remember.
Well, because you have the magic of the first one where it's like, oh my god, so I think it was like Doug Walker made an excellent point of like, if this movie came first, we would say the exact same shit we said about the first Avengers.
Yeah.
That being said, I still love this movie despite its flaws. I was entertained the hell out of it.
it was really fun.
It was. I mean, it's an excellent addition.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about like the issues the movie has because it does have, I think, more apparent issues than the first movie did, mostly in its pacing. But other than that, just general thoughts. I enjoyed the shit out of myself, which I was surprised by how much I enjoyed myself, considering just how much of the negative criticism is going on about this fucking movie. I don't get it.
Really, I haven't been reading it. It's been that bad.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's like it's been like what it has like a 75 on Rotten Tomatoes. Basically, everyone's been saying it's overstuffed in a bad way, like they weren't able to have fun with it.
I disagree.
No, I agree it was overstuffed, but I was able to have fun.
Well, it was kind of showing signs of that.
Yeah, mostly in the first act.
Yeah.
Even Joss Whedon in an interview said that he had to take a scene with Loki out.
That's not all he took out. He took like an hour's worth of footage.
Half an hour, actually.
Because there were too many voices in the chorus. It was already overstuffed with material and goings-on and characters. So.
Oh no, there is a ton of cut footage from this, and you can tell there were cuts made. I mean, this is I think it's kind of the big difference in the first Avengers and the second Avengers is in the first Avengers the pacing was tight, but it was much more. It was harder to tell where cuts were made. Where in this one, you can tell where they made cuts, and you can tell where they made compromises.
Right. Yeah.
Much more than the first one.
That's one thing I was like, the first movie was definitely considerably more focused in terms of the overall plot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the main difference.
This, it had like, God knows how many subplots that, felt more superfluous than like integral to the main story.
Yeah, there's some stuff, like the stuff with Thor towards the end you could have easily cut out.
And the whole romance thing between Bruce Banner and...
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think
there wasn't enough time to flesh it out, so I thought it would have benefited from them taking it out altogether.
Yeah, I agree on that.
It wasn't enough time. Not that it was bad, but it just...
It was an interesting development, but they didn't give it time to fully develop.
Yeah. There were some good moments. It was just like, where did this come from throughout the how many years of movies you've had this thing going on?
I was wondering that too.
They kind of made some implications early on that they had some kind of interactions before Avengers 2 took place, but we don't see them, so...
Right.
Granted, they do have some measurement of believable chemistry.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Which is why when I saw it, I didn't mind it but was kind of upset that if you're going to show it to me and it doesn't go anywhere, then what's the point?
Oh, by the way, we actually got Ron back from Hollywood for this review.
Oh,
so,
yeah. And going right back after I'm done.
Oh, you want to stick around for Little Boy?
I would love to. I would love to.
One of our fans asked us to review that. It's like, fuck. Okay, fine.
Wait, which movie?
Little Boy? That's a new Christian movie that just
Oh,
came out.
Don't bring me around Christian music. Anything that's dogmatic, I'll just tear it to shreds.
Okay.
Oh, you should have joined us for Do You Believe?
Oh,
Okay,
I purposely stayed away from those.
I should not say phrase it like that. Do you want to do Little Boy?
But yeah.
Oh my god.
So here's the thing. So what I have always been clamoring for as a Marvel fan, I got initiated into the Marvel universe as a adolescent reading the new X-Men comics when they had just made all the updates and all of the cool costume designs, and it changed basically everything. It went from uncanny to that, right?
Yeah.
And then you gold team, blue team. Now, what I've always been clamoring for, what I got from the first Avengers film, was the crossover nature of the piece. I'm so sick of watching Spider-Man swing around New York, go past Hell's Kitchen, and Daredevil doesn't yell at him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Well, we may be getting that finally.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I want. There are so many superheroes in New York alone.
Yeah.
That you go down one corner, Blade's killing a vampire. You go down the other corner, Daredevil's beating somebody.
Oh, not anymore. Daredevil's in San Francisco.
I want that.
Oh, yeah, you told me about
Fantastic
that.
Four live in New York as well?
Yeah, Fantastic Four live in New York, not too far away from Stark Tower, so it's like boom, boom, right?
Not this universe.
But without completely going on and on, I just love the fact that Stan Lee created this universe of heroes that are so close to each other, and so they don't feel like they're alone, and they interact with each other frequently in the comic books. So when the first Avengers came out, I thought that it was great. I love the interaction between multiple superheroes, multiple personalities. Now, the problem with Age of Ultron is that this is when it goes wrong.
Really? You think so?
It goes wrong. It goes wrong for me because you took the story arc with the multiple interactions and you just turned it into a Tony Stark piece. From
I think you're dead wrong on that.
From my opinion, I thought that's what it was. Like it begins and ends with Tony's issues, and I think we should address those in another Iron Man movie, not necessarily all the time with that.
There's not
I'm
going
not
to
sure I
be
agree
another
with
Iron
that.
Man movie, though.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't fully agree, but I see where Ron's getting at though now. Because when I think about it, it was more focused on Tony Stark.
Well, yeah, because it kind of had to be though, because the nature of the Ultron character. I mean, granted, of course, in the comics,
Yeah, it was done- he was made by him.
But before, I just had more fun in the first Avengers movie with the interplay between characters. It just
it was
seemed
balanced.
Yeah, it just seemed balanced and proportionally great. You know what I mean? I didn't like the fact that they spent too much time on it.
Despite the issues of the first one, I personally feel like the first one will hold up better over time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this movie had a lot more character than the last movie did. Because, like...
Well, it certainly had more characters.
I
know what you mean.
I know what you mean. Like, because they're not established and they can kind of just be who they are.
Well, yeah, like
Now
in the first movie, like it was so fast paced and there was so much action going all the time. Can you really think of that many moments where they actually took a breath to develop the characters all that much? It was largely dependent on the fact that the characters established in previous movies.
Right.
This one allows them to really interact with each other. Like there's the party scene in the middle of the movie, the beginning of the movie.
That's an example of what I like.
And there's the
Joss Whedon is
Hawkeye
always good at writing
secret reveal. We'll get to that, but that was a great sequence.
It was a good sequence, but again, because of how the arc went with the other characters, I felt like it was tacked on. I felt like Jeremy Renner's gonna leave if we don't do something with his character.
It is true.
So let's just go home and then let's see his family.
Because like he did,
But they did that in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, but still, it's like that was a double story. It's like on the one hand, yeah, he did need the development because
he did.
Let's face it, it's like he's not the most spectacular character, so they got to give you a reason to like care for him.
Oh come on, he's a great character.
In the movies.
In the movies, he's
but in the movies they sell him short. They
But they
always have.
But and like and just
I thought in that one scene they made him 10 times more interesting than anything they did before.
It did. No, I agree with that. But it's like at the same time, it's like you cut that out, that would not have impacted the story at all.
I disagree. I mean, it wouldn't impact the story, but at the same time, it also gives the characters time to breathe. They give them time to interact. They give them to talk to each other. Because at that point, I had a lot of issues with the first act and the fact that everything felt like it was happening so goddamn fast. That like I didn't really get invested into the movie until the Hawkeye scene came up. Because again, that's when everyone
That's when you
gets to. It takes a breath. It slows down. It allows the characters to, like I think it was like Iron Man said himself, like we took a hit, so they take a moment to let that moment absorb, and that's when I got genuinely invested in the characters and the story and everything else that was going on. So.
No, I agree with you, and I'm not saying I don't like the film because it didn't achieve something that I wanted. I'm just pointing it out that
Better integrated.
like again, you could have integrated it better, just like you did in the first one. Where again, it took 3 stories on its own to deal with Tony Stark's personal issues. You get what I'm saying? And now I don't want you to overlook that this entire film is because of Tony Stark's personal issue.
Yeah.
Ultron would not be created had it not been a Tony Stark personal issue.
If Tony didn't have PTSD
exactly
left over from the last Avengers
from the invasion, right?
Events, then he wouldn't have felt compelled to create Ultron.
Actually, that wasn't necessarily what caused it. If we're looking for
he took more kind of a Batman route.
The Batman route, preparing for anything.
Batman's like, I'm gonna prepare for anything. I'm gonna build something that could take out anyone.
Except Batman on the common sense, like maybe I should put limitations on this AI thing.
Yeah, well, because Batman.
When you think about it, though, he did kind of get babbled.
Babbled?
Or which was the one where Batman's plans in case the Justice League go rogue?
Oh, you got
it feels kind of like that just happened.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean.
That was Babel.
And that's what I mean. So like the whole film is like, oh, Tony fucked up again. Let's put on the suit and fix his problem. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, I mean, like the story's not perfect. It has it has a lot of flaws. It just comes down to the fact that we just popcorn and fun. And
it is.
Which it succeeds in.
Especially after the fucking rough year we've had so far, it is so welcome that you have no idea. Like, me and Sarah saw this together at the premiere, and we literally came right from watching Age of Adeline to watching Age of Ultron.
Oh.
And I was like, that just completely washed away all the negative feelings I had about Age of Adeline.
Well then.
Age of Adeline was what we call the Iron Age. Age of Ultron is what we call the Silver Age.
Okay.
And we had a very fun crowd in our theater too.
Well, I dressed up as Spider-Man, so I had fun.
See, that's what I'm saying. And remember, all you fans out there, that Spider-Man will eventually join the Avengers. If they're gonna keep continuity correct, but they're moving so fucking fast. Thanos already put on the damn gauntlet, so I'm assuming we're gonna see, tons of stuff. Well, I mean, okay, look, if you're watching this review, it's because you want to reinforce your opinion or learn about something that you already saw, I'm assuming.
Mostly, yeah.
This is comic nerd stuff here. This comic nerd. Meaning we're snobs and we assume you saw it already. Alright?
Whoa, don't drag me into a little circle there. I am not a snob. I'm a pretentious jackass.
How about we take a little commercial break?
I'm not a snob at all.
Yeah, wink.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretending. I'm playing here. Okay? You need views.
Okay.
This is what I'm giving you.
Alright, Ron, hold on one second. We're going to take a commercial break because I'm assuming somebody just got home.
Yeah.
So, alright.
Excellent.
We'll be right back. Enjoy whatever products we're going to tell you to buy. So we just got done with the Lego movie.
Which was actually
oddly enough is kind of Avenger-esque.
It is, and that was the last review that I did here.
Oh yeah! Fuck, it's been that shit.
Yeah,
okay.
it has.
I do swear too much.
So assuming you're still watching after I called everyone snobs.
Which, hey,
we're back.
No. Snobs, narcissistic asshole. That's
speak for yourselves. I'm a very humble person.
That's not what a humble person says. But anyway.
That's self-aware humble person says.
See? Secret snob! Secret.
No, that sounds more insecure than snob.
Self-aware.
Surely you know I jest.
Where is my music, sir?
I jest.
Alright, so, should we talk about James Spader?
Yes.
Can we please talk about James Spader?
So
I think I got another oddball opinion on that. I'll wait to hear what you guys think.
I saw on a Watch Mojo video a little factoid that the cast and crew gave James Spader a standing ovation.
Well, yeah, because of James Spader.
He's awesome.
So he is very menacing in this. He has a very menacing presence and constantly calm and charismatic, but still very menacing.
Yeah, and I like that he wasn't just a standard I'm evil villain. He still basically is, but they gave him some personality.
Yeah,
They
that
did,
made
yes.
up for it. And that was one of the things I could tell they cut from the film.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there's so much Ultron in this movie already, and which I'm perfectly okay with. The more James Spader, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, because he got probably one of the best moments near the end.
Oh, like that. Oh, for God's sake!
That and, the
It's
benefit
over
of
from
hindsight.
Although a critique of that moment is that it's basically Ultron's version of the.
Loki from the first movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, no, I got that vibe, but it was still pretty decent.
No, I liked it.
It was fun, yes.
It was good.
Okay,
It was good.
what's your opinion,
Okay, so
Rob?
so here's my opinion. Spader, I love the guy. He's a 21st century master as far as I'm concerned in the realm of acting. Right? You haven't seen anyone of his ilk since the previous era, right? And he was a young man in that era, so it makes sense that he would be the next.
Mhm.
Right? I'm a Marvel fan, I'm a movie fan. I sit down, I love him in it. He's every kind of villain you need him to be, right? If I'm the dude making money off of it and producing the film, I got my producer hat on, it may have hurt the film.
In what way?
He is such a known quantity now, and all of his other characters are ingrained in your memory. I found myself thinking about the next episode of Blacklist before I was thinking about Age of Ultron. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, oh, this is so good, but then I'm thinking about. This is Reddington in a robot, man.
See, this is where the benefits.
You know?
See, I don't watch Blacklist, so I was
haven't seen
perfectly
it yet.
okay with it.
Yeah.
This is
Yep.
Reddington in a organic robot.
My
That's what it
friend-
is.
I've never seen the show, but my friend told me about it. And it's like I got that vibe. Just
He's
like
the
based on
man in that
personality
show.
told me.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, Nicolas Cage is really just doing the same thing here.
Well, no. Like I said, from a fan standpoint and a person who enjoys movies, I can separate those parts of myself, right?
Mhm.
If I had made the film, I might be worried about that.
That's
I
fair.
might be worried about the fact that you guys killed off somebody who you could have had back, or maybe let him run away and do something else. But then I also might be afraid of his impact on the movie, like you'll never have another villain as good.
Possibly, but at the same time, like
Basically, it's kind of like Bruce Campbell in Maniac Cop 2.
Bruce Campbell. Alright, but
I'll
I
explain
definitely
that
see
later.
what you're talking about, and I agree to an extent. That being said, that should not take away from what is so great,
Of
so
course not.
enjoyable here.
Of course not. He's the man. He's amazing. I have nothing bad to say about his performance at all. I'm simply saying the more I grow as an actor and the more I produce myself,
Mhm.
I have to look at it from a different angle.
That's
in
fair.
things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for instance, it's great for you boxing fans out there. It's great. This is the Floyd Mayweather scenario. You have a guy who has beaten everyone in his era. He's the best, but then he's boring. And you can't find anybody that can challenge him in a meaningful way.
Well, there
So-
is, but they're in a completely different weight class, which doesn't count.
Right. But what
Get
I'm
that
saying
bastard
is,
in.
but what I'm saying is, it's the end game. What do you do? How are you going to get better than him?
Thanos?
But Thanos looks great. His character's great. But will the guy playing him be able to step up in the same way that Spader?
Oh, you think John Brolin can do it?
I have mixed feelings about Brolin. I do. Because I've seen him in some stuff I like, but I've seen him in some stuff I don't.
Oh, you
Thankfully,
didn't like Men in Black 3?
I thought it was decent, but again, Tommy Lee Jones, who you pinch hitting for, it's like he's the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and Jonah Hex, get out of my life.
Oh,
No.
God, Jonah Hex.
You know what I mean? So-
in all fairness, even he was bad mouthing that movie.
but
Like he admitted that was just for a paycheck.
But see that's what I'm saying. I can't square that with actors who do that. You know what I mean? It's got to be more than that. And a guy like Spader, you know, it's not just a paycheck with him.
No,
he's
Nicolas
completely.
Cage should be Thanos.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what the Watcher was.
Okay, but that's what I mean. So like you get this scenario where okay, it's gonna be the blockbuster hit movie of the season. We gotta get it. We gotta get the best. But then after you get the best and you write him out, what happens then?
Well, he could come back. He's an Infinity Gauntlet.
He could. But I'm saying in between. Then how will your franchise suffer not having him there?
Okay, well.
Well,
Now I'm just filled with this
following-
overwhelming sense of dread that I can't say, thanks, Ron!
well, I mean, that argument, the franchise is going to suffer since Iron Man's role has been minimized and nearly written out. So it's
He's still going to be back for the next couple of Avengers.
The Avengers brand,
Captain America.
as far as the movies go, has already changed. So
Well, yeah, I mean,
True.
it has to change. If it
Well-
remains too stagnant, it's not going to get anywhere.
Robert Downey Jr. says that now, but his ego is way too big in that regard for characters that he creates. He will come back, even if it's in minimal roles and you just see him for a few seconds or a few minutes. He will always come back.
He's kind of the Brett Favre.
Yeah,
of this.
he will come. He's gonna retire, then do the retirement tour, and then do the I'm still retired tour, and then, and then come back. So yeah, and he'll go from a main role to a cameo, but his presence will be felt around that franchise for years. You know?
I mean, let's talk about just Ultron as a character, though. Not so much just, the now depressing lecture you just gave me.
I'm just trying to provide a unique angle that some may not have thought about. That's all.
And I mentioned this during the commercial break, that I read in an article that the real villains of this movie are Ultron's creators, are Tony and Bruce, which I found to be a very interesting point, because they're the ones who, no matter what their intentions are, they're the ones who start the trouble. Ultron just picks up the trouble ball and runs with it.
Right. He does what he was made to do. To a certain degree until he starts thinking creatively. But
I think
Creatively or
it's
psychotically.
I think it's a little unfair to call someone a villain just because they're the catalyst. Like, for me, I'd say if they're like the ongoing threat, that makes them the villain. Like, case in point, what was that crappy movie?
Which
Hard
one?
Rain. Was it with Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman?
I've never seen that one.
Okay,
I've seen
basically,
that.
that's a movie where it starts off with Morgan Freeman being the villain, and then he turns into an anti-hero that basically goes along with Christian Slater.
I see.
So, even though he was kind of the catalyst for a lot of the events that happened, he doesn't stay the villain throughout. Obviously not quite dealing with a bank robbery in the middle of a Breaking Dam is not quite the same as creating an AI that's bent on destroying the world, but...
I get what you mean. And even still, Spader has this 70s anti-hero quality about him that you love.
Yeah, it's
Which
a
is
little
fantastic.
Dirty Harry-esque. Also, if you think about it, it's kind of the analytical argument: who's the villain, the Frankenstein monster or Frankenstein's creator?
Exactly. Or the mob trying to destroy something they don't understand.
Yes.
Well, in this case, we lift up a giant city and then try to smash it back on them. I'm pretty sure you can't blame the mob on that one.
The mob are
The mob was kind of justified on this.
yeah. There's
a
a lot of collateral damage in.
To be
in
fair,
this
they
movie.
fucking address it.
But
And in fact-
that is one issue that I had, that I feel like the first Avengers had less collateral damage, and
No, it had just as much collateral damage. They just didn't talk about it.
it was more contained.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think what the evolution of the Avengers in the second film is showing how they deal with catastrophes in a smarter way. The evacuation, the making sure the people were safe before they carried on this gigantic ass battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there was a conscious decision to we can't just keep on
Yeah, because the problem was
destroying shit and say we're saving people.
yeah, that's the problem with the first Avengers. Actually, this is a very small snippet in Daredevil that I actually noticed, is the fact that there's a news clip in the Daredevil series that Ben Urich wrote. It was, "Attack on New York, thousands dead."
No, it didn't say thousands. It was just
Lots of people.
It was like somewhere like more in the hundreds.
So either way,
It was a
lots
lot.
of people dead.
No, it said like over 100 dead. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Okay, so
But
I
it's like-
embellish a little bit,
but-
but you get the point.
Yeah, and of course, I know, obviously, I'm not going to talk about the parallel between Man of Steel and Avengers, 'cause I know that was a big thing that went on. But
That was they.
But yeah, that's here or there. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the point is that they still tried to actually reduce the collateral damage.
Yeah, a good portion of the finale just about saving people on the
Yeah.
island, just
Yes.
stopping Ultron.
Which
Yeah.
is very suspenseful.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, what they showed was that not just destruction could be played as action. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The evacuation, the helping the people getting out, that was all a part of the action.
Yes.
They included the people in that situation, which I think made it more real
It did.
and made it more exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And more relatable too. Like you,
Yeah.
as an audience member, could
Yeah.
place yourself in the scene.
Yeah. Which also resulted in a somewhat surprising character death, which kind of caught me off guard.
Okay.
Well,
But
yeah,
I'm not
and-
going to
and I'm
explain
trying to-
yet.
And I don't. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to fill me on some comic book knowledge that I don't understand
Hey!
because
Comic nerd.
because I don't understand that death particularly,
Yeah.
especially when it's connected to so many other things that we've just seen in Marvel movies.
Well, in all fairness,
well, okay.
You know,
okay,
let's just
spoiler
rip the
alert.
band-aid off right now. Quicksilver dies. Okay, what's your question?
my question is, isn't he around longer than that?
Yeah, but so was Ben Urich. They killed him off in Daredevil, so...
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's different universes, we can do whatever the hell we want.
I suppose.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
just... At this point, like, Marvel is just wiping the slate with fucking everything right now, so...
Plus,
I guess, but Quicksilver's such an awesome character, and his ties to Magneto. I mean,
Which
okay,
is-
given
the
this,
Magneto's not in this universe, that's still owned by Fox, that's part of the
Yeah.
conflict.
yeah, that's why there's a second Quicksilver.
Copy
movie.
that.
no wonder I don't understand. I don't want to fucking understand.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
Okay, so...
That's why we like you, Sony. You brought Spider-Man into the Marvel
Okay,
universe.
so here's what happened. Is
Copyright legal reasons.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch is that rare thing where it's owned, the rights to him are owned by both Fox and Marvel. That's why they can appear in both
That's
movies.
why he's in both movies.
That's right, but they're
as
not
different-
connected.
Okay.
They're like, so...
But
sometimes
he-
the Days of Future Past, completely irrelevant.
But he is
Almost.
still Magneto's son, isn't he?
yeah,
well,
not in this version. In this version, they're...
He's just some random speedster
Yeah,
dude.
because
Oh,
they
yeah.
mentioned that they mentioned that his parents were killed in that one shadow.
I see.
Yeah, so like this is like in this case like they're taking the mutant part away and replacing it with Inhumans basically.
Okay.
Although even then, they Marvel said they're not actually Inhumans. They're just
They're
they're
very fun
experiments.
structured
Well, and-
experiments.
but
which are
then-
actually in the comics but under a different name.
So they got rid of that, but then this pointedly decided to keep the love interest between Vision and Scarlet Witch real.
yeah.
You start to see it.
I don't know if I
start to
saw
take
that.
effect.
I don't know if I got that hint too much.
I got
You know,
I got the vibe.
The
just-
swoop.
yeah, that's
Swoop.
the way she kind of looked at him.
I
You know?
admit I missed that completely, but at
Wait,
that
what?
point,
Go back and see. Well, in the comic books,
Vision
Vision
and, Scarlet
and
Witch.
Scarlet Witch have a thing going on.
Wait, as
They
far
have
as
a
comic
relationship.
books goes, that's another clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a lecture about that.
That's a little bit different.
But yeah, so
Err.
they chose to keep that, but they chose to make Quicksilver his own thing, which I'm not.
Hey guys, I'm looking forward to the Avengers Disassembled movie. No one?
Avengers.
I didn't read that
Avengers
comic
Disassembled movie?
No, what is that?
You never read Avengers Assembled?
No.
It's on sale on Google Play right now.
That's
I still didn't read it.
that's kind of
Well, that
the
just
start,
monetizes this video.
right?
go ahead.
Don't do Nerd Babadook impression. We'll get sued.
So
Now, Avengers Assembled is one where they kind of fucked over the Scarlet Witch character.
well, how did they do that?
Well, you know in the comic books how through magic bullshit, Vision and Scarlet Witch ended up having kids.
Right.
Well, it turns out the kids weren't real. Just Scarlet Witch going haywire.
Oh wow.
That sounds about right.
That's messed up.
So then, so when Avengers Assembled, it turns out Scarlet Witch basically goes completely insane, has the power to alter reality now, and basically destroys the Avengers.
Oh wow, that's nice.
And that's what sparked the new Avengers era with Spider-Man, Wolverine,
with red glowy shit.
with red glowy shit. And then there's House of M.
That I remember.
Yeah, that was like the direct sequel to Avengers Assembled.
Okay.
That's
so
that was like the spark of like a major crossover event every year afterwards.
understood. Understood.
Admittedly, before seeing this movie, I had no previous knowledge of the Vision.
But just talk about that for a little bit, because I actually really like the Vision.
Vision rock.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Like,
I mean,
Paul Bettany does it flawlessly. I mean,
I was waiting for him to get something big, and I'm glad it was that.
And like we had to make stand-up where our audience applauded this, Sarah. Where just like has a big, huge speech and whether or not he's on like good side or what he stands for and all that stuff. And everyone's like all skeptical and all what's going on. And then Thor's like, I don't know if I can trust you. It's like, oh, no time. Here, gives him his hammer. And Thor just looks at it and goes, okay, he's good. Let's go. I'm sold. I'm good.
What I love is how Tony Stark and Captain America kind of are constantly trying to justify why they can't pick it up, and they'd be like, well, you know, if you lay your hammer down in the elevator goes up, technically it's being picked up. You know, so it's
Does that make the elevator worthy?
The elevator's not
Really, that thing was another double-edged sword for me.
What do you mean?
Based on the whole idea that, you know, because as we all know, Captain America is supposed to be like one of those worthy individuals who...
Yeah.
It's true.
And it feels like he should have been worthy enough in this as well.
That's me nitpicking, though.
Well, he's supposed to be the most righteous man.
Well, I mean, he has in the comic books. He has picked up the hammer a few times. That doesn't mean he can pick it up every single time.
Well,
true.
I think it was already telling that he was able to block the hammer attack in the first movie.
Well, he's able to block the hammer attack, and he still moved the hammer, which freaked out Thor, which is a nice little touch.
Like somehow this was how that was gonna go. It's gonna end up with like that whole thing with, you know, Cap getting the hammer in the end to lay the smackdown on Ultron.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with them not doing
Like
that.
it's not like it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but just like it felt like knowing that and the fact they traded it in for a joke, although a good one, which I will, you know, admit because that was a pretty damn funny moment.
Oh yeah, like when Ultron has Thor like on it, it's like, as long as I am still breathing, I'm running out of things to say. Smack.
He's freaking stalling him. That's hilarious.
But no, like going back to Ultron a little bit, like I said, I really like how like someone pointed this out to me. It's a good point. It was like, yeah, Ultron's all about daddy issues,
Yes.
and I like that he also kind of had Tony Stark's personality a little bit too.
Well,
which
yeah.
isn't keeping with the comic
Which
books
is cool.
because Ultron has
But-
Hank Pyme's mindset too.
I felt they could have better developed that.
But again, I think they'll fix that with the extended cut.
Which I agree.
So it is pronounced Pym. It's not Pym.
I think it's Pym, but
Oh, okay.
I've heard
Because I thought it was like Pym particles and all that.
It's Pym. Like all the games and shows, they say Pym.
All right.
Yeah.
I know very little about that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I know the ugly history of him.
Yeah, my friend of mine explained that to me too. It's like, okay, I can see why they made some changes for Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's why they're going Scarlet, not Hank Pym.
Well, there you go.
Yep, you know, because
Yeah, best way to describe him, he was kind of the Floyd Mayweather of the group.
There you go.
Dude, I'm getting all kinds of angry comments.
You know what? You know what? The only reason why I made that is because it's big business. Floyd Mayweather's big business, and that's what I was likening it to.
Yeah.
You know, the film industry is huge business. So having a guy there that is technically the best that nobody can beat might hurt you somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, like in the original comic books, I mean, it's very common knowledge Hank Pym hit his wife, but it's actually worse in the Ultimate Universe.
Oh dear.
In the Ultimate Universe, she shrunk down and he sent his ants after her. So it's a lot worse in the Ultimate Universe.
What the fuck kind of issues do they have?
Yeah, this is Mark Miller we're talking about. So
Well, that explains that.
Yes, it
yeah.
does.
Granted, this is Mark Miller before he went completely insane.
Yeah.
So
Mark Miller or Frank Miller?
Mark Miller.
Oh, different one. Sorry.
No, Frank Miller, we all know is nuts. But,
Sorry.
Yeah, he's been nuts.
Yeah.
but no, like I also like that. Again, this comes back to like I like that James Spader also had elements of just having very human emotions as the robot, like including being kind of lonely, which is like the reason he kept like Black Widow alive, which I actually thought that was like could have been fleshed out more, but I like that. Like okay, I buy that as an excuse.
I didn't really get that.
Well, because he's used to having Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver around.
Right. So when they leave him,
he has no one else to talk to.
Yeah.
So he wants people to talk to. So you keep Black Widow around because he is. I don't have anyone else to talk to. So you're gonna sit in your cage. You're gonna listen to me ramble and do all my theatrical stuff. So like I thought that was a nice little touch and stuff like that. Like how he gets pissed off whenever someone brings up like Tony Stark or how you're like.
Oh
like that.
yeah.
I was like, no. He's like no.
sorry, on that topic in terms of people, do you know who played that arms dealer that...
Oh yeah, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until afterwards.
Yeah.
Really, it was him.
That was
Yeah.
Andy Serkis.
Okay.
And
There was a lot of skepticism about him when
I heard that character has further significance.
Yeah, they're gonna bring him back. Like he's
Black Panther.
He's gonna be a Black Panther villain for sure because that's Ulysses Claus.
That's a whole nother can of worms, man. Black Panther. I'm crossing my finger. I'm just hoping.
I'm
it's
hoping
done
so.
right.
They've done so far.
Because all the references are right on the money. Every time they mention the vibranium, they're explaining the importance of it.
Yeah, we got vibranium, we got Wakanda.
Right. So they're slowly but surely putting stock in it.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's gonna be in Captain America 3.
Good.
Yeah, that's where they're.
That's right. Yeah.
Like sidebar. I love that comic series that came out. I want to say maybe around 07, 08, where Captain America teams up with Black Panther, and they're doing this. It was like part in America, part in Wakanda, and they're kind of traveling incognito. And stuff. I really like that series.
Honestly, I don't know if you ever watched the Avengers cartoon that was out a couple years ago.
I didn't know.
Like, they actually did a really good job with Black Panther. In fact, they more often than not show that he's smarter than Tony Stark.
I hope so.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I hope so because I just love the style of that comic. I just love the fact that it's a island unto itself. It's a native country. And that they have these superior intelligence because they've had these alien ores there for a century or something like that.
I mean, they actually did the character pretty well in the Avengers cartoon, where they still had kind of the more stereotypical tribal stuff, but they also they're also very, very intelligent. They have all this new race technology.
And I just hope they choose the right actors. Like I heard John Boyega's name getting thrown around, and I mean
they got Chadwick Boseman playing.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
See, and I thought Anthony Mackie sold himself short playing Falcon because he could have totally done T'Challa.
Honestly, I would go with Idris Elba if he wasn't already.
Of course. Well, Idris Elba's more I think Idris Elba is more Luke Cage or more T'Challa's father.
Actually,
T'Challa's father. I don't know about Luke Cage.
I know Idris Elba actually did have interest in Luke Cage, I believe.
He could have totally done Luke Cage.
I know Isaiah Mustafa really wanted that.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't get it, but we'll see how that TV show turns out.
Yeah.
I actually like who they casted as Falcon.
He's great as Falcon.
No, Mackie's great. I was just saying that as a business move, I think he should have held out for Black Panther. It would have been much better for his career. You know what I'm saying?
That's one I heard from interviews. He just kept calling me back. He's like, guys, put me in a movie. Right. Finally, he's like, you want to be the Falcon? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for Black Panther. Damn it!
I know. And then right after he accepts Falcon, that you read online, somebody's so-and-so being offered Black Panther.
It's like when I watched The Purge 2 and I realized the guy who's in that movie would have made a great Punisher, only to find out he plays Crossbones in Captain America 2 was like, motherfucker!
And I think I brought that up to you.
You did, it pissed me off.
Yeah, Frank Grillo, there we go.
Yeah, whatever his name is. But okay, so
But yeah, that just a sidebar comment. I really I hope that they do justice.
because we never go on rants on this show.
Yeah.
Should we
talk or tangents. No.
Yeah, should we talk about Quicksilver and
let's talk about that for a bit. I like them.
They're good.
I guess we should have who thinks the Quicksilver from X-Men Days of Future Past is better?
I think the Quicksilver from Days of Future Past exhibits who Quicksilver is better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That being said, I still really enjoyed this one because he got some of the best moments in the movie.
He did, yes.
He did.
Everybody, get out of here! You're in danger!
I know. Come back.
Get off your asses!
Yeah.
Well, I like that it makes me an Eastern European, which is nice.
That's good.
Or wasn't gonna get
which could still fit with the Magneto storyline if they choose to continue.
Yeah.
It's like
you know what I mean? But also there's some question as to whether he's actually dead or not, isn't there?
I'm kind of skeptical
metabolism.
whether they're actually gonna kill him. It could go to Tahiti.
Yeah.
So that was
but also he's a speedster, so not to cross universes, but the Flash usually has issues like that, and he comes out of them okay.
Yeah, so one thing I like about this one in comparison to the X-Men Days of Future Past version is I feel like this one isn't as ridiculously overpowered as the one in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that is true.
Because that bugged the shit out of me in Days of Future Past. That's one of the few nitpicks I had. But I was like, you could have brought him along and saved everyone in 5 seconds.
Yes. That was it wasn't the fact he was overpowered the bump, it was the fact that he was overpowered and they didn't utilize him more.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So like I felt like it's kind of like the Ex Machina. I was like, you could have used him to fix everything in 5 seconds, but you didn't.
Yeah.
That's true.
This
You're
one, like
right.
they
should've
show
done
that he's fast, but he's not so fast that he can just casually deflect bullets wherever he wants him to. He still gets shot.
I agree.
And he gets pissed off when he gets shot.
My
He's
favorite.
fast and she's weird.
Yeah, he's fast.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
my favorite scene of the film was given to Hawkeye and Scarlet.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
When they're in the foxhole,
Oh,
so to speak, and he's like, look,
Yeah.
you can run away. That's totally cool. But in about 5 seconds, I'm gonna go back out here because it's my job. I'm an Avenger. So if you come out, you rolling with us. That's all there is to
Or
it.
also that very meta line. I have a bow and arrow. We're fighting robots. None of this makes sense.
Right. He's like, but I'm gonna do it anyway, and you should too.
No, I was like, I love what they did with.
It was a very fatherly pep talk.
It was, and for that, yeah, points to Jeremy for taking the character development they gave him and doing something with it.
No, like
What was the other bit that I liked with him though was when Hawkeye got Scarlet Witch.
Oh, he got her.
Go slow, old man.
no one would know.
I don't know. I found him and he was already dead.
but no, what I like was that she's going up to everybody and fucking with their minds and whispering in them.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, the whole mind control thing, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
No, I really like what they do with Jeremy Renner in this movie. I think they really made his character just 10 times more interesting.
They did.
They did.
Like I like that. I like they made him more the basic family man. Now for me, that felt fitting for what they established with that character so far. And like I said, considering how little screen time Jeremy Renner's gotten to this point, it was definitely needed. And like I said before, especially after the big Hulkbuster fight, it really added a moment for the characters to breathe. They can interact again. We can hear them talk to each other,
Right.
which is huge.
Yes.
And it's with somebody that you can relate to because we can't relate to these, like his wife said, you got these gods walking around.
Yeah.
And you're just a freaking man who's really exceptional, and we can relate. to
Yeah.
him.
And I appreciate that they acknowledge that as well, the idea of like
Yeah.
the ordinary man being with the extraordinary people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the idea of like it's not just a matter of like how the viewers might look at him, but also just how the idea of like like a person amongst an ant. And like the way that like they worry that his wife worrying that that's how they view him.
Well, that just becomes so much more invested in his character too, and you get to listen to all the character stories. Because at that point, like I was enjoying myself, but I wasn't fully invested until we got to the farm. And again, like we see Cap and Iron Man's great scenes together. We have Hawkeye's great.
I love when he rips the wood in half. Yes. That is my shit. That is my shit.
I saw that scene when it was leaked like last year.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I saw it.
But Captain America, yeah, I just love the fact that he humbles himself so much that you realize you don't remember who he is until he shows you with these little things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Which is
he just gets mad. Ah!
Which is why
You know?
I love Captain America.
Oh yeah, I mean like
He's my dude too. I like him. a
like
lot.
Chris Evans has done a phenomenal job with the character. Like the point where like everyone was
So
skeptical right at the beginning. I was too. It was like really Human Torch, we're gonna do this. Okay, let's see where this goes. Now I'm kind of like this worker. Guys, follow them to hell in the back.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah.
well, he's surprising as an actor because when I first saw him play Johnny Storm, I didn't realize that he was acting. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some actors get typecast for their attitude and their personality. I
For a
thought
while
that
he
was a
was.
casting. But you come to find out the depth of who he can play is way different than who he was playing there. So he was a big surprise to me from the beginning. Because I thought I understood who he was and his skill set, and he completely just.
And he's not eating babies here, so that helps.
Right.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer reference. Anyway.
God, that was such.
He was just perfect casting it as Cap. And to coin a phrase from the nostalgia chick, he has a face that's been kissed by the gods.
Here's the thing that shocks me though is like his face seems to morph quite a bit. Like you have a hard time recognizing him.
I don't know. Compare Robert Downey Jr. to Iron Man 1 to Robert Downey Jr. now. It's aged.
But I mean,
True.
look at like how he went from like from Scott, Human Torch to Scott Pilgrim to the Losers to this. It's like he does have kind of like one of those strangely amorphous faces.
That's what I mean. And his depth was not readily available for me to understand when I first saw him act.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, oh, okay, he's big, he's brawny, girls like him, so that's why he's playing this.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be wrong.
He's dreamy and talented.
Oh, suddenly just remembered another issue I had with the movie though. Baron von Strucker.
Really had a problem? I was fine.
No, not with
They
him.
just X'd him out,
Yeah,
and it was all good.
it's like they built him up to be a huge villain.
No,
Like,
they didn't.
well, they gave him a pretty decent build, and like, which was the movie where they introduced, Quicksilver and Scarlet.
That was a 5-second scene. That was not build up.
Still,
That was exposition.
still, it felt.
It was
the thing-
one of the after
yeah.
credit scenes.
Regardless, it felt like in the comics he's a much bigger villain as well, and yet.
Well, yeah.
I think that's what he means.
Yeah, and when you get that transition to the thing, it's like the same thing with like Ben Urich and Quicksilver. Like you expected them to be around a lot longer.
Well, he has a contract. He's probably gonna come back.
As Quicksilver.
Not Quicksilver. Von Strucker. I know they have a contract for him in several movies, so I wouldn't count him out yet. Yeah.
Withdrawn. Okay, not withdrawn. Like, it still got to irk me for this movie, but okay.
I was fine with it. Like I was saying, like Von Strucker, even by like hardcore comic book standards, is very kind of obscure villain. He is kind of a more in the D list. Like, if you're going to go for the Hydra villain, Baron Zemo is a much higher up there, and he's in the next movie.
Yeah, because I heard he got cast.
Yeah, he got cast, so he's in the next movie. So like Von Strucker, I don't really care.
All right. Well, I guess we should probably actually wrap this up. Not soon, but soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Let's talk about that Hulk versus Hulkbuster scene.
Oh yeah, the Hulk versus Hulk.
Sure. More Tony Stark shit.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. It was a beautiful scene. It was amazing.
Watch the language.
Language.
Woman, watch the language.
Gosh darn it, watch the language.
Yeah.
Which someone needs
That was a great recurring gag.
Do you kiss your mother with that
Oh,
mouth cap?
yeah, Nick Fury saying that. Samuel L. Jackson saying that. I died in my chair. I died. I almost went into cardiac arrest. I half expected him to say, yeah, that was nice and cute. Shut the fuck up. Come on. Also, Samuel L. Jackson, I'm waiting on the Fury bots, man. When are we going to realize that he's not really in the places that he's in? And they're robots created by Tony
Speaking
Stark.
of which, I was kind of surprised at the lack of reaction to when he came back.
Again, probably cuts.
Yeah, I know. Like, I understood, like, Cap not being surprised. Well, and Scar.
Well, yeah, they both knew already, and
Yeah.
then by extension, I'm sure Hawkeye knew.
Fair.
You know.
Well, then again, when I think of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they mentioned the Theta Protocol, I suppose that's also...
Right, and Coulson let the cat out of the bag, too.
You know what?
Oh, yeah!
You know?
Yeah. Oh,
He's like,
sorry.
spoiler alert.
Yeah. I just watched it the other day. Let's talk about War Machine. Because I was like,
I'm happy.
I was so happy they got Done Shield back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere, not only in the party scene, which is great. By the way, I like the little the dick measuring contest they have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, when these characters are together and they're riffing off each other, it's great. I love watching that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's Marvel movies need more of that. It needs not less, more.
Well, it's like when it comes
And
to
that's where Joss Whedon excels. He's always been great at writing characters and getting the audience to care about them and writing witty dialogue.
and killing people you love.
And
First getting you to love them and then killing them.
so
like, all right,
he's
who
the
can I
perfect-
kill?
He's a perfect person to take the mantle of Stan Lee's creations, you know,
Yes.
because Stan Lee was great at creating these characters at odds that have the same goal, you know, and so those are the things that make me the happiest, because in my mind as a kid, when I'm reading comics, I'm watching animated stuff, I'm like, yeah, you know, what happens when Wolverine leaves the X-Mansion and you know, and all of a sudden bumps into Spider-Man, or what does Daredevil think if you're on his turf, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
I know Charlie Cox really wants Daredevil to appear in the next Avengers movie.
He should.
Yeah.
He should, man.
Oh no, in Civil War. He wants to appear in Civil War. That's
Whatever movie. They just more.
there's something I was gonna say.
Cohesive.
Well, there were a couple kind of controversial
Convergence.
things we're going to talk about, namely how they handled Black Widow and how they handled that scene with Scarlet.
I get the controversy behind
Scarlet
that. I
Witch
think
and
it's
Black
really
Widow.
What's the controversy?
okay. So there's the part of the movie where Hulk and Scarlet Witch are talking after
Black Widow. You think of Scarlett Johansson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got the two confused. All right. So when Bruce Banner and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, he just gets out of the shower. They have a little exchange, and they're doing the flirty thing, but then Bruce Banner, for good reason, says, beam me's a terrible idea, because, I had the whole Hulk problems, and I can't give you all the happy-go-lucky family things.
Also, did he have another girlfriend?
Betty, but, she's an Incredible Hulk, so
fair enough.
Right.
And even then, when they tried to bang, he almost turned into Hulk.
Yeah.
So, we kind of forgot
I
that.
love
I
that
remember
scene in that
that.
movie. That was hilarious. I'll be like, this is the worst
But anyway.
situation
So-
ever.
So...
Getting it on makes him angry.
No,
It's
not
not
his
his
elevated
elevated
heart
heart too
rate.
high.
Ah.
He's gonna
That's what
turn him
sets
into
it
the
off.
Hulk. While they're
That
doing it.
I think they kind of retconned that. But anyway,
do it
so...
and do it and do it. Wow!
Good reference. Step your 90s hip hop game up, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright. Anywho, so Black Widow says, I can't have children either because during my whole past thing, they made so I was barren.
Right. So what's the controversy?
The controversy says you're not the only monster on the team, which I guess some people are saying, she's saying because she's barren that means she's a monster. It's like, that's not what I got out of it.
No,
at
she
all.
doesn't like herself. That's,
It's like the fact that she
obvious.
was trained to be a stone cold Russian assassin is what made her the monster that just
So that was one of those things. It was like the stupid controversy with the Loki adopted line from the first movie.
Yeah, I don't
Like that.
understand.
There was some weird ass controversy with this movie. Like, I'm looking at a BuzzFeed video right now. Like some people have issues with Scarlet Witch.
Sorry.
Okay, what was her issue?
They're saying that this is like one article on BuzzFeed. Everyone I looked at the comments. Everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Where it says it's kind of why the weird girl has to be wrong in the Age of Ultron. It's this weird
Has to be wrong.
Has to be wrong. There are so few choices in the superhero world, and there's a special lack of choices for Wanda, who is in some ways even more threatening than Ultron, and thus needs to be neutralized. As her situation reminiscent of beginning of European prosecution of witches, coinciding with the government deciding population was its business. It's absurd argument. So,
Yeah, but
It sounds like a
I,
very flimsy argument.
yeah, I'm trying to understand what the argument is, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it says,
what are they specifically?
they're saying that she was originally anti-police, and she usually is a strong character because she turned against Ultron and joined the Avengers. That stops her from being a strong female character.
What?
Yeah, that's the argument.
I
And
call
they're saying that
bullshit.
like
Scarlet Witch is a beast.
exactly. That's like everyone's saying like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't
it's
get
like-
that at all.
So she's strong because she went with the good guys.
No, it's like she's not strong because she went with the good guys. That's the argument.
That's
I
what
don't
I meant to
understand.
say.
Well,
No,
I
she's strong because she eventually made up her own mind instead of blindly following the psychotic. And as for her not being strong, how can you say that? She's the ultimate mindfucker.
But my point to that is
She
like,
does it to everybody. The strongest characters in the film, she has her way with them like that.
Yes.
yeah, but the point I'm trying to make though is the fact that I feel like a lot of the criticisms going around about this movie are just people looking for shit to be mad about.
Yeah.
Or like
I
why it's
suppose.
somehow not as good as the first movie. Like really, it's the same fucking thing.
The Black Widow thing makes more sense as a point of contention than that does.
Yeah, she's a Russian spy. What are they gonna do? They're gonna do whatever they can to limit her from having one, emotional attachment, two, anything that might, if she did get pregnant, cause some physical problems when she can't perform her duties.
Which is interesting.
Which,
I'm sorry,
she mentioned
sidebar.
pregnant,
Which is interesting because she played the role pregnant the entire time.
I was just thinking that.
Well,
yes.
they filmed her scenes like right away, so that kind of minimizes the
And,
damage on that.
and-
But, well, you know what I meant.
And they
Well played.
also carefully hired more body and stunt doubles.
Well, bodies and they used to CGI and stuff like that.
But obviously the main thing was the idea of the emotional attachment, which she mentioned.
Yeah, but like that was one of those cases where I feel like they're blowing that way out of proportion. That's for me. I really had a lot of fun with this movie. I loved like the new characters. I just really enjoyed the characters and the actions are great. The action scenes are great.
Yeah.
Really, I looked at a lot of people. It's like people who were disappointed by this movie. I mean, like you made some valid points on that regard.
But I'm not. But even I'm not disappointed.
At the same time, I feel like
I want to put that out.
what the fuck were you expecting?
I
Were you expecting some kind of transcendental experience?
wasn't expecting to have fun, and I had fun.
No, it's like that's the point.
Well,
like
I think what it is. I think I got my finger on the pulse of what's angering everybody or making them upset. It's because for people like us who follow these lore, who follow these universes, we see exactly what we're supposed to see. You're absolutely right in people expecting a transformative experience because that's exactly what the Avengers was to a movie-going audience. Superheroes have never been taken as serious as that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even Dark Knight.
The idea that
Remember, Batman got turned into a Happy Meal. Okay.
Also,
So remember that it didn't stay hardcore for long. But what I'm saying is the Avengers. It was unapologetic. It was what it was. They didn't change the characters to suit a movie audience. But for the audience, a lot of people who had never seen these characters before, or had watched the films in anticipation of this, and that's their only experience. It was a transformative experience for film. That a Hollywood film based on superheroes and comic books could do that large of numbers. You know, and so to answer your question, it probably was a transformative experience the first time. They're looking for that feeling again. We got what we wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for them, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, like,
You
this
know
movie's
what I'm
like a, like, god-awful movie. It's like, everyone's like, oh, this movie sucks. And, like, it's like, everyone's just like, I don't know, I guess, like, they're expecting something, like, way more than I feel like I was like.
For some people, that first Avengers movies and the acclaim that it generated is like their version of the first Star Wars movie. You
Sure,
know?
but you like, when you
Numbers
compare
wise,
these two movies,
you know?
like, aside from, like, some more issues of character development and a little bit of pacing issues, they're really not that different.
They are
And like in that
very
case,
similar,
which is
Yeah.
fine by me, because again, I got what I was looking for. I got to see these characters again. I got to see them
and that's what I
interacting
mean. But some people are just not feeling the way they felt before, but movie audiences are not the same as movie audiences who understand the universe.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're looking for something they're never going to get again. They're just going to have to deal with that.
Yeah,
You know, but they're not going to come to that realization as fast as we will.
yeah, that's true.
You get what I'm saying?
We're just better because we're snobs.
We have degrees. Ooh.
Oh,
Not yet.
2 out of 4.
Mine is waiting for me.
Same here.
Mine is waiting for me.
Taking your time, San Jose State. You're taking your time.
Yeah, because they're really watching this.
Honestly, my only disappointments related to this movie were the initial pacing issues until it had time to breathe, and the fact that it doesn't have an after credit scene, because I as a viewer have
Wasn't the Thanos?
have-
Mid credit
Yeah,
thing.
that was a mid-credit.
Okay.
yeah I as a viewer have grown so accustomed. It's almost like a ritual to expect an after credit scene after all of the credits are done rolling.
Well, the only one that ever really did 2 extra credit scenes was the first Avengers.
Yes.
That's the only one to actually do it. So
No, Thor did it. Thor 2 did it.
Yeah,
as well.
Oh, that's right,
Thor
Thor
did
did
it.
it.
Thor did it, and Captain America, the second one, though.
No, they only did one.
No,
They only did one?
That was
Okay.
that was Baron von Strucker thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so like, I wasn't like hurt at all by that. I mean, it's a very minor thing, and
Yeah,
even then, like,
I wasn't hurt. I was just mildly disappointed. And,
Yeah. a lot of people didn't believe me though. When
I
I said
was
there was
very
no extra
happy
credit
Keep the
with
scene.
tradition
this,
going,
this-
yeah.
I was
I
very
agree.
happy with this film. As far as disappointments go, those are pretty minor ones.
Even then, like the mid credit scene didn't really tell you anything new.
Yeah.
Except
No.
I'm still coming. At this point, it might as well be Game of Thrones.
To me,
Winter's coming. I swear to fucking God, it's coming.
but to me, I question them putting Thanos in this at all right now. It just feels like it's
Yeah.
coming too quick.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? You have so much more to explain.
I will admit, I did
Well,
expect.
they got the Infinity Stones
Yeah.
out of the way.
Because I.
Well, yeah, but that's like 2 out of what, 5?
3.
Three?
Wait, 4. They got 4 now.
Because Guardians, Vision,
Thor 2,
Thor. Okay,
the first Avengers.
the first Avengers.
So you got first Avengers, you got Thor 2, you got Guardians of the Galaxy, you have this movie, The Mind Gem.
I see. Okay.
So that's 4.
Oh, they had the Tesseract from Captain America and Avengers.
But yeah,
That's right.
The Tesseract,
Yes.
the Tesseract is the Mind Gem.
I forgot.
Yeah.
The Tesseract's not the Mind Gem, I think it's the...
Oh really? I thought
No, the
thought
Mind
it
Gem
was
is in
the
Loki's
Scepter.
staff.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like the space one, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
And remember the collectors saying 2 down, 3 to go.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
that
right.
with the, whatever the hell that thing was called from Thor 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're just probably wrap this up because we're talking for like well over an hour now.
Yeah.
So, you guys get the Batman trailer?
No, I got Force Awakens in 3D on a bigger screen
That's
than I
amazing.
expected.
Nice.
That's amazing. I actually got in just after the preview, so I didn't get
Ah, damn.
All I
to see it.
remember
But
was
I think I've seen the ones you guys are talking about.
You guys,
the one
so you
we-
get the Vin Diesel trailer?
I did not. What's that one?
It was like the Last Witch Hunter or something like that. He plays a witch hunter with a flaming sword.
Okay.
So it's the
is
weirdest Fast Furious
this-
sequel to date.
So is this payback for not getting into Lord of the Rings? You guys see his audition tape for Lord of the Rings?
No, this
He
is
made audition tape for Lord of the
He
Rings
auditioned for the Lord of the Rings
as the rock fighter.
For what role?
I don't even remember, but it's in the extended stuff. They show his all the audition tapes for all the people who came in. He's one of them.
Oh my god, can you imagine Vin Diesel's Ghibli?
Yeah, that would have been. Well, I don't know. It's
Or
somebody worked
T-Beard.
with the beard. Fuck it, you know. You can play Tom Bombadil. I live my life one tree stump at a time.
It's like you know they had Dwayne Johnson play the Bambi in the dark reboot of Bambi for SNL.
Oh yeah!
Where it's like someone's going to pay dearly. The only reason I meant that last because it's Dwayne Johnson saying that shit.
I love that guy.
I love him too.
I love him.
All right, we're just shooting the breeze now. So
All right. So you guys
trailers.
I guess one thing we just talk about because I'm sure even if you weren't there, you've seen this trailer. Was the Ant-Man trailer?
I have seen that one. I have seen that one.
Yeah, I was a little iffy about that movie at first, just because I was really hurting from the departure of Edgar Wright.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually after seeing that second trailer, obviously it's out before this, but seeing it was like, okay, I'm feeling better about the movie again.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about Ant-Man, so
Me
this
neither.
was my introduction to
Well,
it.
that's Ant-Man was the original maker of Ultron.
Me neither. I don't know. Just
Well, Hank Pym.
Yeah, well, the original Ant-Man was the original maker of Ultron. That's
right. And I can't comment on the lore or how it translates into a movie from the comic book. But what I can say is that again, put the producer hat on or the business hat on. It looks like a real convenient way to sell some more Happy Meals.
Well, yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, all I know
You could have chosen a million different superheroes in that universe, but you chose him.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Ant-Man is an original Avenger.
It's true, but I'm just saying there are a lot of Avengers. You know. What I'm saying?
I'm still waiting for Stiltman to pop in a movie.
Hey,
Squirrel Girl.
I'm still.
Squirrel Girl.
See, I would rather have.
They didn't get her in the Fantastic Four movie.
Squirrel Girl has beaten Thanos. That's canon.
Oh, I thought it was a Doctor
I'm still
Doom.
waiting
She's beaten Dr.
for
Doom too.
Miss Marvel. I mean,
That's coming out.
See, that's what I'm saying.
No, I was told
Get
she was supposed to be in the
some more
Avengers.
female
not this one.
Avengers.
Someone said that she was supposed to make a cameo in Avengers 2, but it's possible that might be one of the things they deleted.
That's possible. I know they have Helen Cho in there, which is like
Then again,
Cho.
Miss Marvel would totally change the course of an entire film if she was in it. I mean, she's so freaking powerful.
Well, I was assuming that Carol Danvers would show up, but before she became Miss Marvel.
Again, that might just got cut.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll find out. I think we've rambled on long enough, so yeah, obviously, if you've already seen the movie, let's face facts. So I hope you got your opinion validated or revalidated, or you think we're just fucking terrible people and horrible snobs. And
I welcome that.
Or if you enjoyed us geeking out over this movie.
I mean, it's one of those movies, like, we didn't even bother seeing this together. It's like, we just wanted, like, okay, you're all gonna see this before Monday. Let's not pretend. Let's just go and talk about it.
Yes.
So, yeah, nothing else wanted to compete with Avengers. So unless anyone wants to see Little Boy.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
want.
on your own, Michael.
I'm not seeing that alone. Fuck that.
I'm good.
I think we got Pitch Perfect 2 next week, and I think Mad Max is coming out pretty soon. That's gonna be fun.
Is
The
it?
remake.
You haven't seen the new trailer for Mad Max?
I have. Not impressed.
Really? You don't think so?
Not impressed.
Oh.
Then again, I've never really been a big fan of that franchise anyway.
Oh, I can't
Fair
wait.
enough.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had fun with our little, probably hour-long rant. So.
Great talk, everyone. No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And review team.
Some.
Yeah, disassemble.